Happy Friday, everyone, and Happy New Year for everyone who I haven't gotten to come in personal contact with as 2025 has began. But I wanted to hop on just quickly on this Friday afternoon to share a little bit of insight. Sometimes I get inspired and I'm like, I have to get this out. So that's what I wanted to do today. And I wanted to just give a little bit of, if it's called insight, if it's called inspiration, if it's called an opportunity to reignite something in my education business owners, I wanted to just share with you very quickly this afternoon and hopefully trigger new ways of thinking and new ways of preparing and dreaming for your business in 2025. So I am going to hop in today and share with you really quickly just some thoughts that I jotted down in terms of what it is that our education business owners are needing in terms of a way of thinking, in terms of a direction, in terms of what their roadmap could be for the 2025 year. So if we have a look here, I want to talk about empowering entrepreneurs and building purpose-driven online education business. Now, this may not be a conversation that you hear about very often. This may not be a subject that a lot of people are talking about, but I'm pretty passionate about it, and I wanted to share that with you on this Friday afternoon. So we're going to get our screen share going, and then we're going to hop right in. And for those who are joining me live, of course, you can let me know if you're seeing what I need you to see, and then we're going to dive right in. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's jump in. And of course, I am always very interactive. So if you are watching this live, feel free to talk back to me, ask any questions. We're on this journey together. So, building purpose-driven online education businesses. What is that actually about? Okay, so think about when you are looking at your business. Think of it as more than just a business. So dream with me out loud a little bit. What if your online education business could be more than just a source of income? Could you also consider that perhaps it could be a platform or become a platform that changes lives, builds legacies, and aligns with your deepest purpose? Sometimes a lot of people are going into business. They're saying, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a business owner. And the only driver is being a source of income. Now, that's not an incorrect way of thinking, but it does require, if you're really looking to bring a vision to life for income and just for that sole purpose, it requires you expanding your mind and understanding that you could potentially build something that changes lives and lasts longer than you do. Legacy. It's a really, really powerful consideration when you think of that from a business owner perspective. So, today, like I said, very quickly, I'm just going to share some thoughts on how to align your business with your personal values and purpose. I'll also talk about practical strategies in order to scale sustainably, because I know sometimes it's the burnout, it's the whole hustle culture that we think it is required to get to that level of success that we are aspiring to. But I will give you some other ways of viewing that as well. And then finally, ways to really create impact while achieving financial freedom. So there is the biggest conversation of online educators, even educators, period, that is going on. A really good friend of mine and colleague, she was just saying, like, hey, the school system, she teaches in the classroom, school system's broken, you know? And she was sharing in her recent share that they had a snow day. I believe a lot of states in the US had some snow that they're not used to dealing with. And it was almost as if the teacher still had to work and plan and be prepared, but then there's going to be a makeup at the end of the school year. And it's like, well, like, is this a penalty for the snow and, for all the work that educators do? So for those online educators, and a lot of my colleagues are in the online educator space or do a mix of both, there is that overwhelm of wearing multiple hats. So you are the CEO, very often you're the CTO, you are the CFO, you're doing all the things, okay? And guess what? Education is something that it's not a new concept and it's not going out of style. So maybe the traditional way is going out of style, but education is always going to be a piece of our world, okay? So there are people who are doing what you do or similar to what you do, and you're having difficulty standing out in a crowded market. Okay. Now you're struggling. This leads to you struggling to scale without burnout. There's people who scale quickly, but they always equate that scale to very often, they don't see their family, they don't get to see their friends, they're locked in an office, either at home or somewhere else. And the burnout is real. And finally, with all of that, you're starting to feel disconnected from your purpose. So, educators, I will always say, I give such heartfelt credit to for the work that you do in the world, the work that we do in the world, because there is a purpose behind it, okay? There are lives being transformed through what you do. But if you're constantly on the hamster wheel of building your business, it can become easy to feel disconnected from the purpose and the reason why you even started this. So when I talk about a purpose-driven approach, so a purpose-driven approach essentially is having the mindset to build a business that reflects your values. I have a French tutoring business. It is built on having our French students become strong in their literacy and building their confidence, their French literacy and building their confidence in the French language. Now, my value system is that I believe confident children become confident adults, which is why a lot of our class settings and our programming is for children up the primary school age. Okay. And literacy, it's everything. Okay. Literacy is the way we operate in the world. I really value that. And I know the power of how language, how literacy, and how education has propelled my life and my opportunity. Okay. So having a purpose-driven approach, think about what it is you're about. You don't need to be what I'm about. I want you to understand what you're about, and people want to feel what you're about and be able to connect to that. Okay. Now, creating a scalable system is also necessary, but it has to work for you. My capacity and someone else's capacity, it looks very different. So there's people who sometimes want a certain result. They're like, Lise, I need to make 10K a month off the bat. And I could say, okay, cool, but I don't I don't get to that result by just being Elise by herself. Okay. There's a team of educators who stand with me, okay, and serve in the live class settings that I cannot do. There's people who help administration. There's systems built that's making this all possible. So when we talk about scaling, it's about looking at evaluating where you are at this particular time and then understanding what can you handle right now? What are my steps, my roadmap to get to that big goal? Okay. And then finally, a purpose-driven approach includes the idea that impacting lives can be possible while generating consistent income. So at the end of the day, it's a service mindset and purpose-driven approach that is going to be quite the game changer for our education business owners. Okay. Now, there are three key pillars that I would say are essential for a thriving business. The first one is clarity. I need you to be clear, define your niche, okay? Your audience and your mission. Be clear about it. You may right now be the Jack or the Jill of all trades, but it is going to come down to, hey, you want to be the master of something or master of a few things that you can manage and be so purposeful with executing. Okay. So defining that, for me, it's like, okay, Elise, you teach French. You are going to focus on French reading comprehension. right? Told you guys my literacy obsession. That's important. Okay. Now, who is this for? Okay. Yeah, of course. We teach French to all levels, but it's actually for French immersion students, the main offering. Okay. And then the mission. What is it intended to do? Okay. We want to help kids understand how to read and read to understand. Okay. Then secondly, systems. So systems is very much about stepping into the world that we exist in today. There are amazing tools and technology that is allowing business to run in a way it has not been able to run previously. So creating workflows and automations to save time. Your time is the most valuable asset. I want you to, if you don't know that, if you do know that, to be reminded of that, okay? Because your systems is what is going to create that time for you to focus on things that really matter and that drives your business forward. There's make busy work, and then there is work that is really pushing the needle for your next big milestone in your business. And then finally, impact. So impact is about focusing on delivering measurable results for your clients. Okay? We do this to serve others, but we also do it to show transformation in the lives of our clients. Our clients are, for some of you, they could be adult students. For us, our students are younger ones, but our clients would be their parents. Our clients are the families that we work with. So focusing on that impact becomes really integral because people are going to want to see, hey, what what does me signing up with you get me? Okay, it has to be an exchange in our service-based industry. So getting crystal clear, I want you to ask yourself, even now as you watch this, who do I serve and how do I serve them? I want you to also align your offers with your unique expertise and audience needs. Okay. I grew up in French school. I did one of my degrees in French, and I actually enjoyed the process. I have been able to get a lot of access, a lot of exposure, network through language. Language has been a big vehicle for me to get access. So that's where I play within that space because it is important that your unique expertise is shining bright, okay? And that your audience can connect to how that expertise is going to serve them. So essentially, creating a vision statement that aligns and understands and brings clarity to what your unique expertise is and speaks in the language that your audience can connect to is what is going to keep you grounded. So if you haven't yet created a vision statement for 2025, and these can evolve as time goes on, but just having something, having some firm belief systems that you're standing on makes a great difference in how you approach the scaling and even the daily activities in your business. So this is a big one. This is a big one. It's people say it, but I actually truly believe it. It's really important if we're building a business. A lot of people that I interact with, that I serve, they'll say, we want more freedom that we're doing our own businesses. And we say, yeah, okay, cool. So that's possible, but we've got to really put things in place for that to come to life. So working smarter, not harder, we've heard it before, looks like if you own an education business, using tools like CRMs, email automation, content calendars, okay? We are There's lots of different tools. I won't say any specific names, but I have some of my favorites under these categories. But batch create content and streamline your operations. So please don't feel that every single day you've got to be on and you're recording content, that you are making reels, doing lives, and doing all these things. Because we now have tools where you can maybe take one day a week and you have your plan, you have your bullet points of what you want to share and what topics you want to cover. and batch create them, meaning create more than one at a time, and then just schedule it. Let these great tools and systems work on your behalf and in your favor, okay? And then finally, focus on repeatable processes for consistent results. And take note, take inventory about what works for you, okay? There was a time where I wasn't the face of my business. The French tutor was a logo, and that's all people saw. They couldn't believe it was a real person when I started showing up consistently about 5 years ago, and them seeing that face, being able to connect with the person behind the brand. Okay. Focus on what's working for you. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay. That ability to focus on repeatable processes is what is going to get you that consistent win. Now, as we wind down, I wanted to share why it's important to focus on transformative results. Now, when you are an education business owner, we spoke earlier about the clarity that is required for parents, for your future and potential students to understand what it is that you do. So you are going to need to design your program and courses to solve specific problems. I help kids learn French is not enough. Okay? Parents are looking for specifics. For example, I help French immersion students in grades 1 to 10 jump 1 to 2 reading levels in French in an X amount of weeks, if that's what I want to add. Okay? Specific problems. And gathering testimonials to showcase that value is also important when I work with different colleagues and people who own their own businesses. I say, we got to get a little louder about what value you provide. And they'll tell me, oh my gosh, I have this. Like, this is kind of hidden. Like, of course, I have some testimonials from parents. I've got some emails. And I say, well, no one knows about it. It's not worth anything if no one knows about it. So gather those testimonials, start to put them, splash them all over your social media, your email marketing list, wherever you have parents' eyes and people who are looking for what you offer. Make sure those testimonials are speaking on your behalf because your reputation and what we do in our world very often precedes you. Okay. And then finally, continuously refine based on client feedback. So no one should feel that, oh, because I own the business, I'm the owner, I'm the CEO, that this is perfect. You got to also be open to evolving and changing perhaps your offer, your program, how your course is designed, how it's delivered, based on what your clients are saying. So having that mindset and that openness to refine based on feedback is also a key piece in getting your clients those transformative results. So remember, your story and experiences are your superpower. When you infuse your business with authenticity and faith, you create a connection that goes beyond transactions. And in a time like this one, where connection for me is very much becoming that number one piece in terms of why people want to support your business, enroll in your program, trust you as the person to work with their children or with them. Okay. It's the authenticity that people are looking for. And this is coming from someone, like I said, who was once hiding behind a camera or hiding behind a logo that I felt was, going to be good enough and powerful enough. But just realize that you and your story and experiences are your superpower. So play to that, okay? Stand in that. And if you aren't yet, I really encourage you to begin standing in that in 2025. All right. So the last thing I will leave with you guys is that I'm encouraging you to lead with purpose and build with impact. Okay. Remember that the best businesses, they're not built overnight. Okay. The French tutor didn't show up Jan 1, 2025 and be at the level that we're at right now. It's very important to understand where you are starting have a goal, have goals of where you would like to be, and just build your business from a heart of service. Okay. Remember that you have your unique offering for the world. Nope, there's no Elise 2.0. There's no you 2.0. Okay. So you are the expert at what you're doing. And it's just important that people are clear about who you are. There's no confusion about what you do or how you can serve, and that they're confident. They see proof. They see value in what you offer. And so I just encourage you guys to just kind of keep the little nuggets that I shared today as you begin your month and begin your year. And of course, I always welcome any questions or any comments. A lot of you have been connecting with me personally, and that's been really rewarding. And I do want to share that I will be doing a workshop where we'll dive a lot deeper. It's for our education business owners coming up at the end of January. We will be posting details, but I encourage you guys just to mark your calendar, January 30th. We want to make sure you're in the room to get the insights, to get that power up, that boost to really get your education business to the next level. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining, and we'll talk soon.